So my first question is for both of you, and Gerard can start with you. But I just loved the dynamic of your characters in this movie, especially just because in the first movie you guys are so pitted against each other, and here, I mean, it's a little back and forth, but for a lot of it, you guys are like buddy friends, and I thought that was a ton of fun to watch. So I'm just kind of wondering, when you first got the script for Den of Thieves 2, was this what you were expecting, like the sequel to look like? Like, did you see any of this coming when you were making the first movie?
No, definitely not. No, and I don't think, if I'm being honest, we did not make the first movie ever with a view to making a second. The first just felt like a one-off, really cool story. The more we were making it, the better it felt. And then when it came out, it was like I think we made a classic movie with some great, just a lot of great moments, unforgettable story and characters, but when it was suddenly me jumping to the other side, catching up with him, and then going, no, dude, that's not how I want to do it. Go to jail or work with me is a fascinating concept, and it jumped. Like, where do you take it to in the next movie? And there's a lot of places we could have taken to without going that far, but this way opened up a whole other thing that I think it allows us to never really know where we are in terms of the tension, the brotherhood, the bonding, the trust, the lack of trust, the twists, the turns, the rug being pulled out from under you, and the tension.
Sure. No, totally. I totally agree.
Yeah, it definitely felt like number one, when Christian called and told me, it was like, all right, let me give you the rundown of where we are, and he said, Big Nick's gonna team up with you. It's like getting your rival team's best player during the off season, and it's a great feeling, But it's definitely not where I thought things would end up, and that's where it's supposed to be. We have in this new age, we have fans who are audiences, I should say, that are so smart to seeing things go a certain way, and they expect that they know what's going to happen next, and then you start to blend into the cliche way of doing things. And when you can open a new door to possibilities, that's when you can keep them entertained and let them and remind them, like, no, man, just enjoy the ride, watch where we take you.
Sure. No, I totally agree. And it is so entertaining. The whole ride. You never know what's coming next. I loved that about the movie. Gerard, there's a scene or a couple scenes really I gotta talk to you about where your character, he goes off to a club, he does a whole bunch of drugs, and he starts dancing around. He looks like he's having the time of his life, but I'm guessing that's actually pretty hard to act, and people just don't kind of realize it. Is it like, how do you go about capturing that kind of energy in that moment?
Well, that day I walked around. Do you remember that? I just pretended I was on drugs the whole time.
Yeah.
So every moment, I mean, I was touching things and just really kind of feeling that. And I even told my dialect coach that I had just done a bunch of ecstasy beforehand, and I'm sober. So she went away and got all worried, going, Jerry, he's on drugs, and he's high as
he's
a
on
kite,
drugs,
and he's doing this movie. And but I was just like, and it just, because you got to commit to it. So yeah, it is a lot harder than it looks. But the more you commit to it, the more you have fun. And there was a lot of, like, us in the club, the conversation, the dancing, and just improvising. Like, that was literally improvised. Just that, I forget what we were even saying.
Yeah.
That was fun. But you got to remember that even though the rest of the club are dancing, they're also looking at you. They're not, everybody is sober, and everybody's acting, and they're kind of watching you out the corner. This is his version. What is he saying? What is he? So there were kind of embarrassing moments, but then the scene at the end, hopefully it's gonna. I loved you were so fun in that scene.
Yeah,
amazing.
As far as that scene goes, bro, I've been to Coachella before. All right, I know what goes down. All right, I've been there. I went to USC, bro. You get down.